Hello, and welcome to the Jeff McWay channel. And, whoa, colors are all sorts off. Don't like that. Okay, that's much better. Hi. So, what the hell is this about? Why is Jeff releasing a video? This doesn't have action figures. Well, I mean, technically it has action figures. So I started the channel, I don't know. When did I start the channel? Let's find that out. So the first video, according to my videos on my video list here that I've got going, scrolling, this is good content, was a year ago. Was 1 year ago, was on September 13th, 2020, and that's more than a year ago. And I was building my police station that eventually got built, but then I had to take it apart because I moved and it never got finished, and I tried to redesign it, and then it got put into a box. So let's start with that. So when I first started, it was all about the Lego. It was all about almost a hot take situation on Lego because I was judgmental and critical. I wouldn't say negative, but I wouldn't say overly positive either. So that happened. Which, you know, it is what it is. And I kept up with that because I was being as honest as I could about things, not holding back, and being... The old school term is a shock jock, but I don't think that's the truth of it anymore. It's just I was just giving my opinion, and my opinion at the time I thought mattered. And I was doing it differently. I was doing it not with thumbnails that were professionally done or even looking like they were professionally done. I was doing it just turn the camera on, go live, and go from there. And I didn't know anything about OBS. I didn't know anything about StreamYards. I didn't know anything about any of that shit. So I just knew that I had to use this program and do the thing, right? Which is whatever. So, and I had fun. I had friends that were joining me in on it. I had Brian, who was there for a lot of it, and you know, it was going strong. And I was meeting people through Brian, through Kevin and Julian and Chris and Mark and Dana and Matt and Jeff Van Winden and a whole bunch of other folks, and it was a good time. And then frustration set in. Frustration set in the fact that I wasn't getting to where I thought that I was supposed to be. Because it was different. It wasn't like every other channel. And so I tried doing more things, different things. I tried, I tried being, I don't know, smarter about things, questions, interviews, things like that. Then the channel got picked up, or I got picked up by the Quarantine Cast through Brian to be funny. And then I guess when you want to do a bit all the time, that's not what be funny is. So that's nothing against the Hamlins. I'll let you do the math. And Perk didn't give a shit. So I created tons of fun because it was COVID, and I was like, man, like, I want to do more. I want to have more interviews about different people and doing different things, and once a month we'll do a Lego episode. So 4 episodes a month, every Friday. Toy collecting, water skiing, motorsports. We had Meredith on there, and she gave us all an education on driving and Pro-Am and everything else, and it was awesome. And then we'd always come back to Lego, and I was getting frustrated because I didn't want to talk about Lego at all on this. I wanted it to be a different thing, and unfortunately it all came back to Lego. So I started making decisions on my own. I started not talking to Julian about them, started not talking to Madeline about them, and they left because the show was moving away from Lego and into other things. I tried doing a couple of bits, tried doing a couple of bit shows. Was either not picked up or was received poorly. Joseph Zawada left. And, I didn't know what to do from there. So I said once a month. And I have my buddy Don, my sister Lana. Kirk still hangs out with me for some reason. Rick Brickham is there. Van Winden shows up. And it's great, but I can just tell the blank looks on their faces when I start talking about not Lego. And I feel bad about that. And I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. So that solution came pretty easily, which was put the show on hiatus for a month. And that's what it's been on for a month. And I've been thinking about how to do this and how to approach it. I've been talking to my buddy Don about it. And I think that I'm just going to say fuck it, and we're just going to go back to Lego. And then we'll bring up other things that, are like Lego and stuff like that. Kirk and I can still talk action figures. Tried doing a show with Kirk called It Figures, but Kirk is super busy, so I can't do that. I'd really like to, but I know that Kirk has a very busy schedule with family and his own channel. It's doing really well. If you haven't checked it out, it's called Geek Effect. And if you want reviews on Marvel Legends action figures and things like that, that's the place to go. So I reached out to friends, to people that I know are my friends. I reached out to Craig from Not Another Retro Channel, had him on to talk about turtles, about collecting turtles. I had Greco on there to talk about just collecting in general. And then I had a chance, and me and Michael French from Retro Blasting, he invited me onto his Patreon channel, and we did an interview there, and that was awesome. And it was probably one of the best times I've ever had. Besides hanging out with Craig, Greco, and Ed in person, being able to sit and talk with Michael was amazing. I'm not trying to kiss his ass. I'm not trying to suck his dick. I just like Michael. And through Michael, I met Leo Convoy, and Leo Convoy and I have a great time whenever we're together. That's all I can say about that. And, through them I met Sal. Not met Sal, but I became a fan of Sal from 2 Cent Toys. And Tony from Analog Toys, which I did not get to meet because I could not make it to Atlanta. Still, I don't suffer from FOMO much, but not being able to make it out there is probably one of my biggest regrets of the year. So, take that as you will. So I've met all these people, I've talked to all these people, and it's been an amazing time, an amazing 6 months, amazing 7 months. And I sat down and I thought about what kind of content I want to make. Do I do this to get the clicks? Do I do this to get the views? Do I do this to try to turn it into something? Partially. I'll explain. I want Tons of Fun to be a household name. This is egotistical, this is way out there, but this is eventually something that I want. I want it to be a show that other geeks can enjoy. That's it. You're not going to do that by talking about Lego all the time, and I've come to the realization that that's okay. If I want to talk about Lego, I'll talk about Lego. I have friends that want to talk about Lego, we'll talk about Lego. Speaking of Lego, channel started out as a Lego channel and evolved into action figures and other nerdy things. And we'll talk about the Lego situation right now. I'm not one of those guys that will do a video about the thing that he just bought from a retail store. I'm not. I've tried doing hunts before, even for Lego, filming them and everything else, and just, it's not my bag. It's not. A recap of what I've come home with? Sure, I can do that, no problem, but I don't want to. Is that bad for content? Yes. Is that good for Jeff's sanity? Yes. Does it feel like I'm competing at that point? No. Is that a good thing for me? Very. And that's the mindset that I had, or if I'm not keeping up, I'm dying. And I did die a little bit. The channel is 225 subscribers strong. At one point, we had 6 patrons, down to 2. And all I can think of right now is, how can I improve these numbers? really what I should be thinking about is how can I make better content? Make content that I would like to see and maybe other people too. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start talking about my passions and things like that, and just being more of what it started out as, which is me just having a good time with X, doing whatever. And I think that's an important factor. Tons of Fun is going to be coming back, so be aware of that. And we are going to be talking about Lego in it. Yep. Mental health talks will be coming back too, so I'm looking forward to that. That's, I think, one of the best things I've ever done. And if it helps somebody, great. Like, honestly. But I built like a shell around myself that I didn't want to admit certain things to, because it's not proper and that's not this, and that's a self-conscious, that's a self-image thing. That's nothing against anybody. That's just how my brain was working. And that was due to a low self-esteem, that was due to losing a friend, that was due to Resolve being canceled, that was due to P.S. Resolve got canceled. Hinkle is being way too successful and is busy, so it's canceled indefinitely. And that was a gut punch. I'm not gonna lie. I always jokingly said that, yeah, it's great until you move on and you find somebody better. And so, but right now we're just trying to manifest good things in the universe. Let's see what else. So I've been to a shit ton of cons this year, and I have not looked back. It's been a great time all the time, every time. I finally got to meet the old Grey Bricks minus Dana in person, and I had an awesome time with them. They made my con, and Van Winden made my con, and Don was there with me in Alabama. We had a great time. Got to see Julian again. I think I've seen Julian 3 times this year, and that's awesome. Seen Van Winden twice, both at different cons, and he and I are pretty good friends because of it now, and I'm super stoked about it. Every Wednesday on Jeff Van Winden's channel, they do a Lego talk about news and everything else, and you should check it out. Same with the old Grey Bricks crew. Every Thursday at like 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and Monday, they do Lego talk, and they, yeah, you should check it out. What else? Action figures. So action figures have become a huge part of my life, mostly because I really like collecting action figures. I like taking pictures of action figures, and then I like reselling them. And that's what I'm going to basically be doing. The house situation sucks right now, if I'm going to be honest. We've been doing renovations for a year. And we're so close to being done that I just want to move all my shit into the other room, but there's still a bit of work to do. We need window frames, we need curtains, we need blinds, we need door handles, doorknobs, and then we have to move furniture, and then once we move the furniture, we have to redesign this room, because this room is my bedroom, my gaming room, my Lego room. It's not ideal. I have a lot of stuff. Emily doesn't. Most of my stuff is or Lego or whatever, Excuse me. And it's not fair to Emily that I spread out like malaria. So everything is taking a back seat as far as building goes. Mocks are a no-go right now simply because I don't have the room. It's just, it is what it is. Same with building sets. I'll build a set in a little nook of a corner that I get. I'm still buying sets. I'm just not talking about those sets. I've been more on a retro hunt lately for the rest of the Aquanauts line, which I'm one set away from. One set, and that's the big-ass Aquanaut set. And I'm really looking forward to the day where I can go take my money and finish out the Aquanaut set, the Aquazone set, and have that first wave. I even got the special exclusive one, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's pretty dope. And then I'll actually sit down and I'll build it all, and I'll make a little world out of it. And then I think I'm going to move on to Ice Planet and see what I can do with that, because Ice Planet is expensive now these days. But I think if I can get the parts separately from the sets, it'll be cheap. I don't know. You know how the Lego game goes. Regardless. My Patreon is kind of a joke. I need to redesign that. I think I'm going to on Friday. So here's what I can tell you about content that should be happening at one point, starting in August. I'm going to try to do a weekly vlog, maybe like cornering in on one day of the week. Wednesdays seem to be the best day. That's when I go play D&D with Don and Joe and 2 other people. Sunday of every month, starting at 9 Central, I'm going to be doing mental health and behavioral health stuff again. And that's in August. So, how many days does July have? Alright, 31 days in July. So that means the 8th of July I should be doing my first episode of Welcome Back Kata when it comes to doing all that. Live builds are still on hold until I can get space to do it. Action figure reviews are on hold until I get space to do it. So I'll be joining other people's streams. I'll be doing tons of fun. I'm going to try to do 2 Fridays a month, starting out slow. And it'll be Lego news and other things you might want to hear about, as well as some mock highlights from the community and friends and stuff like that. So, there's that. For those of you that have stuck around, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for always sticking around and always supporting me. Your support in this matters to me a whole lot more than getting 1,000 subscribers or getting 500 subscribers. Just the people that have believed in me from the start and just keeping on. Or you forgot about the channel completely and you're like, why do I have this still? Either or, I'm still there. That being said, let's keep in mind that trans rights are in fact human rights. That's never going to stop. I'm always going to keep saying it. With Roe versus Wade being turned over, that leads to a domino effect of the endangerment of gay marriage, the endangerment of people's rights, and that's happening right now in our country, and it's 2022. I'm never going to see the Star Trek Utopia, am I? That's life. Regardless, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Until the next one, which should be a vlog. That might actually be coming out on Friday. You learn what it's like to do D&D with Jeff. No. That journey. Regardless, thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a better weekend. Bye-bye.